the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Here at Fields and Brown Barbershop, legacy means a lot. We're trying to fill big shoes left by my two uncles and my grandfather, where every haircut came with conversation and every customer left a little taller than when they walked in. The barbershop is about pride. It's about knowing your barber knows your name and your story. Come see us at Fields and Brown Barbershop, where tradition never goes out of style. 3 generations, 1 legacy, your barbershop.
Arctic Air keeps your home or business comfortable. For more than 20 years, we provided outstanding residential and commercial services through southern Middle Tennessee. Whether you need assistance with your heat, air conditioning, preventive maintenance, or anything in between, trust our reliable team to get the job done. We'll take the time to figure out your specific needs and recommend what we believe is right and best for your situation.
We've been using Arctic Air for over 15 years now. Their service is great, they're here when we need them, and their prices are competitive. They take the worry out of the heat and air so I don't have to.
Arctic Air. When you need us, we'll be there.
Financial advisor Scott Beasley knows time spent with family is everything. As a founder of Beasley Wealth Management, his mission is to give clients the freedom to enjoy time with family without the burden of financial concerns. A local of Lawrenceburg, Scott deeply values building relationships with clients, ensuring they make informed decisions concerning asset management, tax planning, and retirement planning. Offering a free initial consultation, Beasley Wealth Management helps clients pursue their aspirations with confidence.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Welcome everybody here to X Sports Live, brought to you by CMB Linen. AJ Good here with the man, the myth, the legend, Clint Brazier. Look at this hat he's rocking today. He's rocking the Lawrence County hat
Give a
today.
big shout out to Max Taylor's dad, Matt. Brought this to me. I've been asking the Lawrence County coaches for 3 years. I gave Dusty, what was it, 2 years ago? I gave him a Summertown hat, and I'm still waiting for him to give me a Lawrence. And so finally, thank you, Matt. I appreciate it, because if I was waiting on everybody else, I'd be hatless.
As of now, we tried to start that a couple years ago, and the only ones that took it serious were Lawrence County Baseball and Loretto Baseball, which the stuff we got was awesome and great.
And listen,
Bryce Cliff, I'm calling you out right now. I told him every time he misses a halftime interview, he owes me one of those awesome Nike and Jordan tops.
You're right.
He owes me about 5 of them at this
point. Listen, I don't know if you saw them, but I think it's baseball and softball have these awesome looking jackets at Summertown.
Yes.
That, I don't know whose butt I've got to kiss up there to get one, but they are sharp. And so I've been putting that feeder out. But again, I'm officially retired as the voice of the Eagles.
Yeah. So you're a floater.
That's it. I am where's needed, except for Loretto.
So UT Southern, TWC.
But hey, it's been a while since I've got to wear purple and gold.
Looks good on you.
That's what I wore.
That's right.
But when your kids go somewhere else to play, you'll wear whatever. But speaking of, man.
Talk about it, man. I was there, but I want to hear your perspective.
I just kind of caught highlights of it.
Yeah.
But then going back and watching it the next day at work, when I could actually watch it during a little slow time, that game wasn't as close as that final score.
No, it wasn't the first half. Second half, it wasn't close at all.
And me and you talked before we started. Over 500 yards rushing. That's 5 football fields of offense just rushing the football, and then add around 80-something yards passing the football.
So they finished 589, so 87 through the air, 502 on the ground.
A lot of that's execution on Lawrence County's part, but my God, if you're Ray County, you got to be. you've got to be sick. But credit to that bunch. I mean, credit to that offensive line and defensive line for Lawrence County.
Well, this is how crazy it is. The only other loss Ray County had was to the team, East Robertson, I think it is, who played Columbia this last week, and Columbia hung 70 on them. Now, they scored 42, but they hung 70. And then this is the most points they've given up since losing to East Robertson. They gave up 55 to them. Second most was to Lawrence County. And, watching it back, and I've watched it back a bunch of times too, it's, everything worked. And the play calling was outstanding. They went with tempo. They changed up the runs with Carter. They changed up the stuff with Logan with the quarterback runs. But what I really liked was they kept them honest with those jet sweeps. They didn't always hand it off to Dylan or to Zacchaeus. They really did a good job of just making sure, like, okay, we're going to give you that motion and we're going to make you honor it. And every time Dylan or Zacchaeus broke off a almost 25-yard run, we did kind of fumble at the end, even though they called him down. But Dylan was 10 yards, 10 yards a pop. And that, when every option, and you have to honor everything this team does, then on top of that offensive line.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Credit the inside and outside running the football. But none of that works if your offensive line is not allowing you to run it wherever you want to run it. If you got a bad offensive line, a defense can shut down either the inside or the outside. Yeah. But if you've got a great offensive line and they do what they're supposed to do, like they did the other night, it doesn't matter if it's in or out.
And then the defensive line, they had a 1,250-yard rusher. The Brown kid was really good from what I've watched. They held him to 5 carries for 3 yards.
Yeah, negative in the whole first half, right?
Three carries for -1 yard. No, 4 carries, that's right. 4 carries for -1 yard in the first half, and then he had a 4-yard run in the second half. He was averaging 25 carries per game. Their quarterback was just averaging 10 throws a game. And he threw 25 times.
Well, it had to play catch up.
Yeah,
and clearly they couldn't run the football.
Yeah, that's not their MO.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. I think that's why the score probably closer than what it indicated, because it was one of those you felt like once Lawrence County got up 2 scores, you were like, the way they're running the football and running clock and running it at will, it's over.
And then the other team is having to do it like dink and Duncan and that sort of. And the best play was at the end, the final drive for Ray County. They have a 4th and 1, the 3rd and goal. They ended up a half yard short, and they tried to sneak it. So that quarterback and that center's got to go up against Taden Russell. If you watch it, he takes it, leans forward and hits a brick wall. He even fumbled the ball. I had to recover it. I'm going crazy because I know he's short. He's like, oh, he's short. His knee's hit. He's short. And I've watched it a million times. All you see is that center and that quarterback just go.
He stood the center and the quarterback up.
Big 55, which, they've got a really hard task coming up. It's the playoffs.
It's going to be.
Everything's going to be tough. But Knoxville Halls, they have a 4-star defensive back, Jarrell Chandler. He's verbally committed to Georgia. He's a junior right now. This is a team that's going to throw the ball a lot. Their quarterback, Maury Lefko, has over 2,200 yards. He completed 60% of his passes. 20 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. He's got 4 touchdowns on the ground. When you look at what their team does, their leading rusher only has 611 yards. He spreads the ball around a lot. You got one receiver, 677, another 533, another 522. He spreads the ball around a lot. So this team is for sure going to get tested throughout the air here coming up tomorrow night.
I'm sure you've got on there. Is Halls a team that gives up quite a few points, or do you know? Have you done research on their defense?
When you look at because it's funny, them in Tennessee did the team they beat last week, which I think our lucky stars were not having to go to Bristol.
Yeah.
In a way, man, probably had a better chance against Tennessee, even though you like your chances against Halls. But at the same time, we don't have to drive all the way to
nearly
Bristol.
to Virginia.
It's on the line.
Yeah.
It's right on the line.
You can throw a rock and be in Virginia.
They lost their first 3 games, went on a run, lost a game in the middle to Knoxville Central, which that game's on YouTube if you guys want to go and check it out, 38-35. But the games they lost here, there's 35, 32, 24, 28. If you're going to beat this team, you've got to be around that kind of 25, 30-point range, which, hey, it's doable.
Well, we know Lawrence County can score points, and, we don't know. There's no common opponents.
No.
There's no common opponents, but If Lawrence County can rush, I would say if they can get half the rushing yards that they got the other night,
right.
It's going to change how Halls wants to play.
Right.
Just everything you've told me, everything I've done, looked, the way they like to throw it, spread it out. Mm-hmm. If you can slow that game down, I feel like you take them out of their element.
Absolutely.
And I don't see anybody stopping Lawrence County from running the football.
And if that defensive line, which I've watched this offensive line, the quarterback is mobile. The left go kid's really good. He can move around. But I don't think they've seen a pass rush like this before, where they'll blitz. And the one thing that Lawrence County did the other night, which I know they're going to do tomorrow night, they're emptying the chamber. No one expected us to be here. What do we got to lose?
Pressure.
Yeah, just put it. It's all on this team. It really is. I mean, even though it's kind of odd, you've got a 3 seed and a 4 seed facing off at this point, but. Still, I mean, that's the good thing about the good thing, maybe the bad thing about this new format is the good thing is you get to play somebody that's maybe a little bit favorable in your way. The bad thing is you got to drive 4 hours and 20 minutes to get there.
That's what I'd said. The barbershop. I said, what about Lawrence County going to Chattanooga and getting that win? I said, yeah, and for their efforts, they get to go to Knoxville next week.
and it was almost Bristol,
yeah.
Especially the way that game started. So we'll look at the bracket.
But if we can just win this game, there's a chance Lawrence County plays at home. Yeah. But at worst,
they go to
going to Columbia.
Yeah.
And hell, that's 30 minutes.
Well, it's funny. We talked about Knoxville Central. That's who Columbia is.
Right.
So they're hosting Knoxville Central. Both these games tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. So Lawrence County wins and Knoxville Central wins. We're right back over here.
Get to play home
on Friday night. However, Columbia wins because they are the higher seed and they're in the same region.
Yeah.
Again, it's better than going to Bristol, Chattanooga, or
30 minutes is a whole lot better than going to Virginia.
Yeah. You know what's funny about that drive? You literally, on the way to Ray County, it's not a bad drive. It's like go to Chattanooga, take the downtown exit, drive for 50-mile schools on your left. That's how easy it was. You pass by the stadium you play the state championship game in.
Right.
Finley Stadium. They're in Chattanooga on the way to Ray County. I've just found that interesting on my travels there last Thursday.
Well, that's looking ahead. But how many, let's see, is it 5 rounds to get there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes.
Yeah, 5 rounds to get there. If you can go take it, just a 1-point win.
Yeah.
If you can just do whatever it takes to get a win.
Yeah.
I feel like you've got to, either you're hosting at home or you're going to Columbia, who you can play with.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did beat you this year, but you also went to Dixon County and beat the team that beat them.
Right.
I mean, Columbia's got some turmoil and stuff going on too. And I'm not going to get into it, but they do.
I know.
So, just whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
Yes. Right. I feel like I need the breaking news.
No,
we're not getting into that.
I'm not getting into that.
We're not getting into that. But hey, you got to take care of business tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Also, to warn everybody that is going, the stands are only on one side, so please be respectful.
Matt told me that. He said it's going to be weird. He said it's like,
feels like you're
all woods on one side and all stands on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to share it.
Kind of feels like you're at a Christian school.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's a bad. It looks big. I don't. From everything I've seen from the games, they don't sell it out. I'm not saying they will or won't tomorrow night, but just to give everyone, just follow where all the purple people go.
Yeah.
That's where the Lawrence County. And hey, for those who don't know, there's a lot of Lawrence County natives in Knoxville. A lot. So hey. Show out, show support for these guys. They've never made it past the second round. No better time to start than now.
Yeah, and the sky's the limit. And like you said, you're playing house money. So let it all hang out.
No one expected you to be here.
Yeah.
I mean, go out. You ain't got a thing to lose. It's going to be fun. Other team, and we got 2 other local teams in action. Clint, Mount Pleasant defeated East Hickman for the second time this season. Shut them out. Look good.
Yeah, they get Milan for their troubles.
Exactly. You took the words out of my mouth. Travel the winding road. There is nothing more. I don't get car sick. My wife does. I did when I was little, but that drive can make some people car sick. It's like 5 miles, turn left, go 3 miles, turn right.
Yeah, you pass
Go
yourself
mile and
on
a
about
half, go
4 of
left.
those turns.
Yeah. You might hit about 5 dogs, a couple deer.
It's my dad
Way
to say,
out
you got to
there.
go through your tail hole to get to your elbow, get to that place. But hey, I mean, let me say this: what Mount Pleasant does have, they have explosive weapons. But Milan is Milan. I
Yeah.
mean, so I'm not going to count Mount Pleasant out, but you feel like you're 10 points down just for the bus ride, though.
No, yeah, that's. I mean, that's Loretto baseball a couple of years ago. That's a long drive and staying out there. No disrespect to Milan, but it's not a metropolis by
No.
any shape of the imagination.
Yeah.
It's tough out there. Lewis County beat out Houston County pretty well. What do they get for their troubles? A visit from Power in Huntington.
Yeah. I talked to Coach Kid Hartsfield, and he said, well, us in Lewis County got to feel good about the first round.
Yeah.
And after that, after that, we're kind of hoping there's some upsets or something, but there weren't.
Yeah, right.
And, let me say this. After watching Lewis County, now again, it was against Summertown, who was depleted. But after watching Lewis County this year, if they make you play like they want to play, I don't care how good you are.
Yeah, right.
There's just nothing you can do
Right.
because your offense is going to be sitting over there on the sidelines
Right.
while they go 10 play drives for 90-something yards and just wear you down.
And take 7-8 minutes off
Yes.
the clock, which in high school football is
That's
a whole quarter
everything.
almost.
Yeah. I didn't get to do the show last, but I called that last game. I want to give a shout out to all the seniors from Summertown. Yeah, I think by the end of the year they were down 8 starters.
Yeah.
And I really expected to go over to Adamsville and call a butt whooping.
It wasn't.
It was not. They
Yeah.
play with a lot of heart. They play with a lot of effort. I'm very proud of that team. Now, there's some things we've got to get players quit transferring. We've got to get some athletes start coming out and playing. So those numbers, so we don't have kids having to play 3 or 4 different ways.
Right.
But I just the biggest shout out to all those kids who toughed it out, even the ones that got injured. I mean, you saw a lot of heart this year, and that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Last week when I couldn't be here, I was enjoying the beach, but it's been a fun ride, man. Since 2014, I've been calling Summertown games, and I said it on that last broadcast that I appreciate it. And I told Will if he'd need me, I'd be here, but he really better need me. So, now I'm just have microphone will travel. So Lawrence County, Summertown, as long as it's close, y'all need me for basketball, I'm in.
UT Southern.
No, I'm out on that.
You're out on that?
Yeah, I'm not calling college games.
Over in Class Single A, Richland, big win over Collinwood, and they get South Fulton next, right on the Kentucky line. And you got to see them live and in person, and that's a team that, they're clicking at the right time.
I don't know anything about South Fulton,
Yeah.
but after watching Richland, I knew they stumbled. I think they've lost their opener to Wayne County, which is still shocking, but all I could think of was they had a freshman quarterback in there that they didn't really trust, who probably had a lot of nerves going, that it was a very stagnant night offensively,
Tough
because it
atmosphere.
was like 16-14, I think.
That was the final, yeah.
But from what I've seen from them, especially live, they're a contender.
Yeah, 100%.
Offensively and defense. They've got a kicker that may be one of the best fullbacks and linebackers in the state as a kicker, and can kick it 80 yards.
Yeah.
I ain't kidding you.
Pretty good,
He made a 45-yarder against Summertown, and it would have been good from 65.
Yeah, he's pretty good. And right after, if they're able to win tomorrow night, they get McKenzie after that. And old saying goes, we say it a lot: to be the man, you got to beat the man.
Yeah, McKenzie, they've been the top dog right up there for the last 3 years. But let's see, Richland's a 1 seed, right?
They are.
So they do have to travel to South Fulton.
No. South Fulton.
South Fulton's come to Richland. Well, there you go. I mean, that home field advantage at Richland, that beautiful field there and light show and stuff.
And if it is, hang on, if it is McKenzie, Mackenzie will go to them.
Well, there you go. I mean,
looking at.
you're sitting in a driver's seat right there, and I tell you, Nick Patterson, he's done a great job with that bunch.
Absolutely.
And I listen, that well ain't ran dry either. When you're that freshman stud's the quarterback they got, but there's a lot more other kids that are underclassmen that are coming up because they had a hell of a middle school team too.
Yeah, because from what I'm looking at, if they win, they will, if I'm reading this right,
Host
they
throughout.
will host all the way until Chattanooga. So Linville is rocking the other
They
night.
don't like
It's
you to
gonna-
say Linville. They like you to say Richland.
Richland. Okay, Richland.
When I used to do the public address, I would say, "Welcome our friends from Linville." They'd go, "Nah."
Richland. From Richland. Okay, we'll get it right.
So you know me, I'd say Linville even more.
First down, Linville.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta love it. Well, Clint, before you know it, man, we're playing high school basketball games Tuesday. Lawrence County host Colbert County. I got to see both of those teams practice yesterday before I went over to Columbia State, and the girls look pretty good from what I've been able to see. The boys are going to be young, very,
they're replacing
very
a ton.
young. 7
Replacing a
seniors
ton.
from a year ago.
Yeah, but like you said, the great thing I love high school basketball in November, December, because you get to throw kids out there and see.
Right.
You get to throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks.
Right.
And Summertown's definitely going to be in that same boat, losing what they've lost. Lawrence County is definitely in that boat. I got tickled. I had a kid that from Loretta came in the shop, and his dad was with him. He said, "Well, we had our parent meeting with Coach Tips the other day to talk about the upcoming year, and the first thing he said was, make sure everybody knows this team ain't going undefeated." He wanted to make sure those expectations weren't there. So, I mean, look how much they're having to replace. Mason Tittle, the only starter you got coming back. And now you do have some great kids that come off the bench, and they're going to be okay.
And
but
getting a couple guys who haven't played basketball in the last couple of years coming back as well.
So I'm interested. Listen, I think Wendy's got a really good. The Tenon girl, and then. Who's the volleyball player? Dixon, Aaliyah Dixon, and who's the other?
Hughes.
Ryan Hughes. I think those three right there could be three of your best players in that district.
Right.
They both all got size, length. They're quick. I'm very excited to watch those three play. I think Ella Busby and Gabby Long at Summertown is going to have some breakout year. At Summertown.
Where did get Brian?
Brian
Because I
College.
remember I drove by Brian on the way to Ray County, and then I pulled up Facebook while I was goofing off in the press box and saw where she had committed.
And I think there's probably some unwarranted worry for the Lady Mustangs because this is the first year that you haven't had one of David and Kelly Weathers' kids playing at that school.
Right.
And notably on the girls' basketball side. But let me tell you something. Sophie Weathers and Allie Augustine, you watch out for those two right there. Sophie didn't play volleyball this year. She's focused on basketball. And Allie Augustine, she's going to be your surprise player because that kid got better and better every game last year.
Yep, and Summertown boys wise, obviously got to replace.
They're going to be about that tall, and they're going to have to shoot about 53s a game.
And they will. They'll shoot them, but you got the Shermans back. You got some other guys back. I mean, Wes Long ran about 11-12 on the bench last year. A lot of those guys are back, even though it's hard to replace a Kurt Burleson and a Cole Campbell.
It is. I mean, that's you replacing Kurt. That's 24 points a game. and about 14 rebounds. Right. I mean, that's tough. And there's a reason why the Sherman brothers, several of the outside shooters, were as successful as they were because you could not extend. I mean, you had to protect the paint.
Right.
So, Grant Howell's going to have some big shoes to fill. He's going to be, he's got to be the primary post, and then you've got some younger underclassmen that are going to have to step up for us to have some post presence. But again, let me say this: you won't, especially the Sherman brothers, you won't have to worry about fear being in there because if they can get it off, it's going up, and as far as they're concerned, it's going in. So I can't believe it's basketball season. This year has flown by, but I'm ready for it, and I'm excited.
We could. I'm really hoping it happens. We could have football games to call during the first week of basketball. That hasn't happened since I've been here.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to happen. It's a great problem to have because all these teams don't play on Friday. They do play Thursday this week. Lawrence County is Tuesday. Thursday's kind of up in the air from what I'm being told because of Riverdale, their basketball program could be in the same because they've got a lot of football players. Lawrence County doesn't, but Riverdale does. And then
sounds like a great time to play Riverdale.
I know. Well, they did. I almost hung 100 on.
But how great is that you have this good of a football team this year, and you don't have any kids that are be going to play basketball?
It's a great problem to have.
I mean, that's very rare.
Yeah, very rare, especially in some of these schools. But you all right?
I'm good. Just got a little coffee in my eye. I think it threw up on me.
Loretta's girls host Smith County, just them. The boys don't play this Thursday, and then Summertown's got Lincoln County at the Nest. Doesn't look like it's going to be one of those years. There's just 7 home games for Summertown, which is good. I don't want to get on that rant again that they've got to have a new gym. Right.
But it's getting harder and harder to find teams to come play at Summertown. But Lincoln County always traditionally pretty good girls basketball team, so it's going to be a great test. You're replacing Abby Jo Schaefer, but I'm excited about they've got Summertown actually got a transfer in that's going to help. They got about 3 in that are going to help, so I'm excited to watch both of those squads. And I'm telling you, the sleeper is Loretta. You watch Loretta girls. I'm telling you, Allie Augustine and Sophie together. I think they're ready to take that ball and run with it.
I'm excited to see it, man. We'll get to see it next week. It's hard to believe it's here, but it is here. Well, coming up next, Clint, we'll discuss some college football when we return. Next Sports Live, brought to you by CMB Linen.
Mac Brown has been providing photographic services for 55 years. During that time, Mac Brown photographers have photographed children, seniors, weddings, schools, musicians, and commercial businesses. The studio takes great pride in producing quality photographs and services for its many clients. While the studio has adapted as times have changed, their goal of providing excellent photography has remained constant. For more information or to schedule an appointment, visit their website at macbrownphoto.com or give them a call at 931-762-4263. Let the professionals at Mac Brown Photography turn your memories into treasures.
Back to school equals back to big savings at Heritage Automotive in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Score 0% financing on select models and up to $15,000 off MSRP on new 1500 trucks. Over 150 used vehicles, all priced to move and below market value. Need service? Our expert team is ready, and we've got loaner vehicles to keep you moving while we work. Hurry into Heritage Automotive, where the deals are hot and the savings are huge.
Heritage Automotive. Expect more, experience the difference.
Arts, crafts, stationery, journals, books, educational toys, wrapping paper, devotionals, greeting cards, and much more can all be found at Paper and Thread in downtown Lawrenceburg. Shop local to find the perfect gift or have a custom gift basket made for just the right occasion. Paper and Thread has a party room now available for birthdays, classes, and so much more. We could go on and on about all the neat things you'll find at Paper and Thread, but you just need to hop in your car and head down there. 106 North Military Avenue in Lawrenceburg is where you'll find them and discover what makes Paper and Thread awesome. That's Paper and Thread in downtown Lawrenceburg, 106 North Military Avenue, just north of the square.
For over 50 years, Southern Tennessee Regional Health System Lawrenceburg has been a cornerstone of care in Lawrence County. From cardiology to orthopedics, general surgery, primary care, and women's health, we offer compassionate expert care close to home. Our ER is now stronger than ever with more providers, chest pain accreditation, and our newest Joint Commission stroke accreditation because every second matters. Generations have trusted us for compassionate care and medical excellence. Faster, trusted, accredited. Emergency care with hometown heart.
Volco Auto Supply in Lawrenceburg has a legacy of being a family-owned and operated company. Since 1927, our business has grown and evolved into today's one-stop source for all your automotive supplies. But in that time, one thing has stayed the same, and that's our commitment to our customers and their needs. At Volco Auto Supply, you'll find everything for your car, truck, or even fleet of vehicles, but with good old-fashioned customer service the way it needs to be. That's Volco Auto Supply, 416 Buffalo Road in Lawrenceburg. Visit VolcoAuto.com. Want to take the next steps in taking care of your health? Tennessee Valley Allergy Services can make your goals a reality. Their team of doctors, nurses, and medical professionals are dedicated to providing allergy care and treatment, such as drops and shots, to fit your exact needs. Their expert services are for anyone ages 2 and older. Whether you struggle with environmental or food allergies, they've got you covered. Discover a better you at Tennessee Valley Allergy Services, located right next to the Zaxby's in Lawrenceburg. Book online or call 931-325-0757 to schedule your appointment today.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Welcome back to X Sports Live, brought to you by CMB Linen. AJ Good here with Clint Brazier. And Clint, I know it was an odd weekend for you. 10 Vols were off as far as college football goes, but what was your observations from this past week?
I don't know. We might have lost the bye week. Indiana survived a test.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Indiana survived a test. Georgia started out. Listen, at some point, some team's going to get ahead on Georgia and stay ahead.
Right.
Because, man, you're talking about living dangerously.
They do it well.
But I think everything else kind of went as expected. I don't think he had any. I think we found out Miami's not the real deal. Mm-hmm. Texas A&M, I do have to apologize. I think maybe start of the year I said Texas A&M is always ranked up there at the top, and they're not very good. And here they are undefeated still, and defense dominating. But their offense is actually getting some things together now too. So they look like the real deal. I still don't know who's going to be LSU coach. Apparently Lane Kiffin's going to coach about 5 teams next year.
And more teams keep firing their coaches.
Yeah.
And they think they're in line for Lane Kiffin, which is
let me just call out Kirk Herbstreit real quick, though. This is why us Tennessee fans don't like you or ESPN or feel like we just get slotted. Did you see Herbstreit on his show calling BS on the Tennessee fans for wanting Josh Heupel fired?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, that's a select few in some comment sections that are idiots that don't know anything.
Right.
All right? Because one, even if I wanted him fired, who are you going to get now with everybody else fired their coach?
That poll is getting shallower
Well,
and shallower.
But no, listen. That's like lumping the Republicans and all the Democrats together.
Right.
I mean, that's he's pretty well spoke for all of us. You know that we should be. If we can win out, we're 9-3. At the start of the year, what did I say? I said we'd probably be 8-4.
Yeah, right. You're right around expectations.
So I don't know that it will not be a good look for him if you go to the swamp and get beat.
Right.
Especially after without a coach, with what happened with what Kentucky did to him, it will not be a good look. But if you can do it, you should have a bye week this week too. But. I don't know. It's like I said after the Alabama game, we're just pretty average. Mm-hmm. I mean, at the end of the day, we just are. Joey Aguilar's kind of starts showing that you get a little pressure on him. Yeah. He can throw some picks. And credit Brent Minimal and that defense. I mean, they played good, and their offense did what their offense is supposed to do against our defense. They made Tennessee play catch up, and we couldn't catch up at the end of the day.
Right.
So,
on top of all of that, they get Alabama next.
Yeah.
They're still alive.
Oh, yeah.
They went out.
100%. I mean, they can totally shake things up.
Absolutely. Speaking of shaking up, man, I don't think anyone wants to win the ACC right
now.
No. Nobody wants to win that league right now. It is
I thought Georgia Tech was. I still think it's Georgia Tech's to lose.
Right.
But hell, you could give me some favorable odds, and I wouldn't bet money on an ACC team.
And the hottest team they have right now is Pitt, and they get Notre Dame this week, which I think everyone's rooting for them just to get rid of the Notre Dame problem. Because I hate to say this, but the way that the committee is voting, they win out, they're in. Now, the quality of teams they've beaten, unless USC surprises everybody and makes it to the Big Ten championship game, that's their best win right now, and they'll get in at 10-2. But
they're kind of like Tennessee was.
Yeah.
Their quality wins wasn't that great, but their 2 losses were to two top 10 teams.
Right.
And but let me say this: Pitt, after starting the way they did, benching their senior quarterback, playing a freshman, Pitt's went on a hell of a run.
That freshman quarterback is. I mean, we looked at the numbers the other day. Ever since they put him into the lineup, they've scored 48, 34, 30, 53, 35.
Yeah.
Pretty dang good.
I think it was a good change.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't play him against West Virginia. I'm really happy.
Well, I think that's what got the swap, wasn't it? Was it not the week after?
No, the week after was Louisville.
Okay.
They lost to Louisville both of their losses are by a combined 14 points, a touchdown each, and one of those 2 was an overtime.
So after the Louisville game, they changed quarterbacks and went on a run.
And they're just, these numbers, and the game they only scored 30, they won by 17 points at Syracuse, which Pitt never plays good at Syracuse, even in the old Big East days.
Right.
I mean, they're 12.5-point dogs here, unless Vegas knows something we don't know, which is true. I mean, it could be entirely possible. They know a lot of things us non-Vegas people don't know sometimes. Right. But that's certainly up there. But Oklahoma and Alabama. Oklahoma's defensive line, their defense is really, really stinking good. We know Bama can't run the ball.
No.
Can they throw it and throw it consistently and keep Ty Simpson upright?
It's at Bama, right?
Yeah.
And see, I think as close as Tennessee played Oklahoma and had a chance to win that game, I think Alabama's defense is just going to be too much for Oklahoma's offense.
Right.
And I like Alabama in that game.
I do too. They're 5.5-point favorites. They'll probably win that game comfortably. Yes.
Well, listen, if you're Bama, just win.
Just win.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it pretty.
That Florida State game, nobody even knows anything about it. You just went out.
They probably think that was last year's bowl game.
Yeah.
That was so long ago. Indiana's got Wisconsin, A&M, got a pretty beaten up South Carolina. Beamer's probably not feeling good since he's nowhere close to getting the Virginia Tech job now, since it looks like James Franklin's to lose right now. Trying to look at Miami's got NC State. If you're a top team in the ACC, the last team you want to see is NC State after they've beaten Georgia Tech. Now, both of these were at home, but Georgia Tech and Virginia. I was a USC. Interesting one there. USC still has a path to the Big Ten championship game. Virginia at Duke. Could be interesting in the ACC. They're both, Virginia's 5-1, Duke's 4-1. I don't know if you've seen this. You probably have. But a lot of Florida fans are hoping they go to Ole Miss and win. That way,
to lure.
That way, Lane won't make the playoff, and then he'll come to Florida.
Well, I got news for him. It ain't happening. I mean, and if you're Ole Miss, I think your team, I think you've got to be looking at it that way too, and play with a little bit of extra. You can't go in that same mindset you had when Washington State came in.
Yeah.
But listen, as far as the coaching things, I got 2 things. I said when the LSU job came open, I think the sole reason they did that was because they knew if they didn't, Lane Kiffin's going to go to Florida.
Right.
I think Lane Kiffin's going to be coaching at LSU next year, and Ed Orgeron's going to be his assistant head coach, recruiter. Because Ed Orgeron's already come out on several podcasts and said if Lane takes that job, I can be talked into going back to LSU.
Right. Yeah.
And
being the,
you better watch out.
Yeah.
If that's the case, because you're talking about 2 recruiters.
I mean, they don't have trouble getting guys going to LSU, but
No.
you add those guys.
That's what you get the guys that they'll get coming, plus they can coach.
On top of that, it's pretty dangerous. But have you seen all that drama going down with LSU right now? And they might not have to give Kelly his full buyout.
Yeah. Fired.
It's wild.
Yeah. Apparently the governor's going to make the hire, and that even gives you more reason to think he's reaching out to Lane Kiffin and going to offer him a Brinks truck.
Yeah. Then they hire a new president. Then supposedly he hires the AD, but says he didn't hire the AD, and then he hires the AD. And now technically, according to them, Brian Kelly hasn't been professionally, or however they put it, permanently terminated. So I'm like, are you still paying this guy? Like, is he still on your payroll right now? Like, what's going on over there?
It's honestly, it's the only thing I think that could keep a really good coach from going to LSU, just how dysfunctional it looks right now.
Right. But it's LSU.
It is.
Louisiana.
And one thing we haven't talked about.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen it all year long, and he's been very crybaby-ish, let's put it that way, but you still, his resume speaks for itself. Does Dabo go to one of these jobs? Is his time, is he through with Clemson after this year and fighting back the criticism? And
but do you want Dabo? That's the thing.
I think if you were, I think if you're Florida and you don't get Kiffin and you don't,
that should be.
I don't know that you would want James Franklin. I think you'd want Dabo over James Franklin.
Well, and other than Lane, I've heard James Franklin tied to about 5 of these other jobs, including Arkansas.
So if I was Florida, if I couldn't get Kiffin, that would be the one I would probably be going after. If I couldn't go get Dan Lanning from Oregon and say, hey, you want to come to SEC?
He's pretty adamant saying why would he?
Yeah.
He's got all that Nike money.
I mean, you will never have to hurt for any money at that job.
Yeah. But, I mean, Dabo's interesting because, he's so anti-transfer portal, so anti-NIL. But if you go to a place like Florida that's loaded, does he finally just say, okay, for this amount of money, I know I can coach?
Well, listen, unless you do like Saban and retire, everybody's anti-transfer portal and NIL money until you have a bad season. And then you think a little bit different of it.
Next thing you know, you got 20 new guys.
Well, let me think about this money I need to give this kid.
Yeah, that left tackle from Washington, he looks pretty good right now.
Should have done this last year at Clemson.
I should have done this 5 years ago when everybody else was. I told that kid not to take that Church's Chicken sponsorship. And one of the big ones, I mean, it feels like every week we have big games in the SEC. I mean, but it's the truth. It's the toughest conference. But Texas is at Georgia.
Texas is on a hot streak.
They're on a hot streak, but I think Georgia's their kryptonite.
Well,
they find a way to be their kryptonite.
They are, but remember what I said. At some point, Georgia's going to get off to one of these piss poor starts, and their offense won't be able to catch up.
Right.
So I don't know. It's I do like Georgia in it because it's at Georgia, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Because last year it was at Texas.
Didn't matter there.
Yeah. But it's not. Listen, in this world that is college football now, it's not going to shock me if Texas don't beat them and put themselves right back in the hunt.
I know. And then they've still got A&M at the end of the schedule. The only one with the easiest road right now is Ole Miss.
Yeah.
They've got this game, a bye week. They got Florida, a bye week, Mississippi State.
And the Egg Bowl.
Yeah.
And they're going to win the Egg Bowl.
Right. So, they're sitting pretty at 11-1 and might not have to play in the conference championship game and get to just slide on into the playoff. Now, they won't get a first 4 bye, but they'll slide right into the playoff.
Yeah, and as long as you get to have a first round home game, which I think 11-1, you absolutely will.
Yeah.
So, yeah, But again, how many years have we been saying it about Ole Miss? They'll lose a game they're not supposed to lose. And DJ Lagway might just get hot.
He's gotten hot. Ask Texas.
Yeah,
he's gotten hot. He's gotten hot against Texas. I mean, it could certainly happen. I mean, college football is just weird and chaotic.
Listen, a betting man though would tell you they just got throttled by Kentucky, who sucks.
Sucks really bad.
And I just can't believe that they're playing for anything now.
Right.
I think their best players are trying to figure out where they may want to play next year. Mm-hmm. And I don't think, like I said, Ole Miss should beat them, and Tennessee needs to go to the Swamp and beat them, or it's not going to be a good look for our coaching staff.
And I posed this question. I know you weren't here last week, but I posed this question. You mentioned it. You said 9-3,
mm-hmm.
and I think most people's prediction is 8-4 and 9-3. Mm-hmm. Does that seem disappointing now, even though, knowing how good the team was, knowing how well they played at home, that they should have beat Georgia, they didn't play their best at Bama, they certainly had Oklahoma on the ropes at times. Do you feel that does now 8-4, 9-3 feel like a disappointment?
Yeah, 8-4 will.
Yeah.
I can't say 9-3 would, but here's the thing: if you're negative, if you're too negative, they call you negative. If you're too okay, that's okay. We'll get them next year. You're a sunshine pumper.
Right.
My whole thing is, I think we've got a great coach.
Mm-hmm.
I do. He's got to get better at things. I've been saying that all year. He still don't have a signature road win. But the things that would make it a disappointing year is, at the start of the year when we were making those predictions, none of us knew if we were going to have a quarterback or not. Yeah. Well, he's better than the one we had.
Mm-hmm. Right.
All right.
Yeah.
We didn't know if we'd have a running game after Dylan Sampson. We got 3 pretty good running backs.
Yeah.
Offensive line's pretty good.
You got a first-round NFL wide receiver.
So you're losing all these players to some injuries, and the defense is just atrocious. So that's my thing, and I get it. You don't have players waiting in the wings to come in and replace, and not a lot of drop-off. I get that, but the defense has just gotten worse. Mm-hmm. And that's, those little things, that's where you kind of got to give a little bit of criticism because, okay, well, listen, you could play the victim card at first because our quarterback left us right before spring.
Right.
Well, you came out all right on that deal.
Yeah.
So, look, 9-3. I think the sky's the limit if Faison Brandon gets there. But we've still got to beat Vanderbilt to do it. And if Vanderbilt is still sitting with 1 loss when that happens, that's going to be like the Super Bowl for them.
Yeah, and it's going to be the Super Bowl for the Vols.
Mm-hmm.
Neyland's going to be rocking.
You could kick them out of the playoffs, which is usually the other way around.
Yeah, I know. How odd does that feel? Mm-hmm. You could be spoiling because they've got Kentucky. They're off this week. They've got Kentucky at home, then they go to Neyland.
Yeah,
and that could be for a spot in the playoffs.
They're going to be sitting there at 10-1. 10-2.
10-2. Well,
9-2.
Yeah, 9-2. Yeah.
And lost to
Texas. I mean, the way they played in that fourth quarter, if they recover that onside kick, there's no doubt in my mind they would have won that game.
They just needed a little bit more time.
Yeah.
Or they needed about an extra yard before it went out of bounds.
Or for it not to rain.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little bit slippery there at the end. Well, you talked about Negaval. I think we're going to go negative wrestling fan here coming up next. Not happy with how things are going here, Clint. We'll discuss that. And plus, we'll have our weekly rants when we return on X Sports Live, brought to you by CMB Linen.
Since opening our doors in 1904, Builtwell Bank has existed to be the local economic engine for the communities we serve. No matter if you're buying a car, saving for retirement, or finally buying that forever home, Builtwell Bank is here to help. From personal checking and savings accounts to a full suite of business and commercial banking with treasury management services, we'll make sure you'll have a dedicated Builtwell banker that understands your unique needs and stands by you every step of the way. No matter where you are in Tennessee or Northwest Georgia, there's likely a Builtwell Bank location nearby. Come see us and let our dedicated financial team help you with all of your banking needs. Member FDIC.
At C&B Linen, fast, friendly, and reliable service is our promise to you. Because you're not just a customer, you're family. From multi-use linen to branded floor coverings and a complete range of cleaning supplies, C&B Linen is here to make sure you have everything you need. From our high-quality products to our fast, friendly, and reliable service, you'll experience the difference with C&B Linen. Because you're not just a client, you're part of our family. You'll be winning with C&B Linen.
Got a dent, a ding, a scratch, or a bent fender? Major or minor, Car Country Collision Center in Leoma can fix you up. Car Country works with all insurance carriers, gives free estimates, can work on foreign and domestic vehicles, and has experience you can trust. They've been in business since 1990. Unfortunately, accidents happen, but you can get your car back on the road with as little hassle as possible with the help of Car Country. Call 931-852-4708 or stop by at 2567 Highway 43 South in Leoma.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
And welcome back to X Sports Live, brought to you by CMB Linen. AJ Good here with Clint Brazier. And Clint, I think at this point, me and you could be the surprise opponent for LA Knight, and we would win in 5 minutes.
Listen, there's nothing you can tell me that would ever make me not think that they're punishing him.
I know.
They were burying him and booking him badly before, but when he held that sign up that day that said, "We want LA Knight, not Jey Uso."
And I'm still trying to read his lips of what he said when he was holding it up, but he shakes his head in that way that it's kind of hard to understand what he was trying to say.
Well, he's being punished. He hasn't been on in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then he did a audience promo. It wasn't, and they cut him off
when he's praising John Cena.
Yeah. So listen, why do you give him a mystery opponent? Obviously, if it's somebody big, they're going to win.
Right.
You're not, I think Jericho and Edge, everybody keeps throwing that out there. They're still under contract with AEW.
I believe so, which Jericho's kind of in hot water after saying what he said.
That he's coming back?
Well, with that, and he was talking about how great the crowd was at TNA.
Mm-hmm.
Said they're looking like the second biggest company in the world. I'm
right.
like, well, what's the number of the company you work for right now?
But listen, if it's, I'm trying to think who could return. Fatu's out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's hurt himself again.
There's rumors Nick Aldis.
Joe Hendry, maybe.
Oh, man, if he loses to Joe Hendry, I like Joe Hendry, don't get me wrong. But if he loses to him, I'm like, we might not even talk about it on the show anymore. We might just do retro wrestling.
That's
which
fine.
I think we're fine with.
It's fine with me.
I think we'll
We'll just do a watch along and talk about it.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
But, I think we all kind of thought that there was a chance that Cena would get that Intercontinental title, and now he's got the Grand Slam, which was nice. Right. But the rest of it, clearly LA Knight's not going to be part of War Games. You've got that team.
Cody just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He's this guy's been feuding with this group for how many months now? And
6 months.
6 months, and here comes this other guy out of nowhere.
Yeah, and so clearly, I mean, it's now I don't know if they're doing 5-man teams or what. I mean, I guess you could make it however you want. It could be 3-3.
Because who's on the other side right now? Not the Punk side. We know who's
Braun and Logan Paul.
Logan Paul. So the rumor is Roman's going to be with Punk. Lesnar's going to be with the other. That still leaves one. I mean, I guess LA Knight.
It'll probably be Cena.
Yeah, that's true.
That's who I would guess.
That's true.
Probably be Cena. So, I'm not. I don't get SmackDown tomorrow, so I'll just have to look on YouTube for highlights to see how bad he got beat, how fast he got beat, and who it was. But it's sad. And clearly, all that setup that we had that looked like Jey Uso was going to turn heel or go rogue, well, that's over. I mean, he's high-fiving, shaking Punk's hand and got his back. And
that promo, no tension. They just wrestled for that freaking belt he's holding. There's no tension. He's no staring at him.
Plus, he gave him a hell of a receipt in that match.
I know. Like, there's no, like, my belt should be mine, Oos. Like, nothing. It's just like nothing ever happened unless he's going to turn heel during the match, which I don't particularly see happening.
I don't know. I listen. Only thing I know to tell you is I'm going to start rooting for Gunther. I am. I think they'll give him a push, and even though he's a heel, I'm just going to start rooting for him.
Heel.
Yeah.
At least he's a good heel.
I mean, honestly, if you're LA Knight and Drew McIntyre, I would start trying to figure out what else I could do for a living or where I might could go.
Well, Drew's already got some acting gigs lined up.
But all he does is get buried too.
Like they should just feud against him.
And he had a 3-month feud with Cody Rhodes, never won a match.
And he said the greatest feud in the last 10 years was CM Punk. Mm-hmm. That was awesome. Yeah. That feud they had was awesome. Like, and part of me wants to tell them both, like, hey, guys, go to AEW. At least
it worked for Cody.
I
mean, it did.
At least you'll get the wrestle on a regular basis. Yeah. They'll probably put you over.
Yeah, go out there and dominate that business for a year and then come back.
And the thing about both of them, they are still over with the fans.
Yeah.
LA Knight comes out, big pop. He says all of these says. The fans still react to it. I've even watched fan videos from what they took when they were there. They were pumped to see him.
Oh no, it's a perfect music.
Yeah.
To do it, almost like a glass shatter.
Yeah.
But he gets a hell of a pop.
Yeah.
And the criteria is his matches. He does the same moves. Well, who doesn't?
Stone Cold did.
Everybody does.
Bret Hart did. Hulk Hogan
Jey Uso does 8 super kicks and a spear.
Yeah.
And a frog splash.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it. Cena does 30 AAs. How many go to sleeps does Punk have to do every freaking match?
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. It's
one of my biggest pet peeves is like he's just a Rock and a Stone Cold spinoff. I'm like, why? Oh my God! It's like I'm patting my swing after Babe Ruth and King Griffey Jr.
Yeah, well, that to me, I don't understand how that's a knock.
Exactly.
I mean, if you had a hybrid between those two, you would think I'd get behind them and, by God, milk that cow till it was dry.
The bulk of people are still getting behind them. I mean, there could be worse guys. It's better than patenting yourself after Gilbert and Doink the Clown.
Mm-hmm. He's 42, I think.
Yeah.
And so his time's running up.
Yeah.
And
Punk's 48.
Yeah, but either at some point you've got to start seeing who can run with it that's else in between. Because I mean, obviously, Braun Breaker's their future. That's who they're banking it on. Yeah. But you still got to have somebody in that in between. That middle group, middle age right there. And I don't know who better, but hell, he can't even get a shot at it.
Yeah.
And he may not at all now. I mean, because we don't listen. We know how unhappy we are with it.
I can't imagine.
Can you imagine how unhappy he is? So
bet-
there's no telling what he's went backstage and said at Gorilla.
Yeah, and there's no telling what he's told his wife.
Yeah.
And how much her ears been burning with all this, or what his friends think about. And not just him. Drew. That's been kind of public.
Mm-hmm.
Drew's not happy, nor should he be happy. But like, there's two guys that JD from NY and the Solid Monster, and they do a show together every week on Tuesday Night Titans. And they brought up a very good point. Us as fans were not asking for him to have a 6-7 month title run. Like he could have carried that belt
from one pay-per-view to the next,
or even for all the way to the Rumble. Say he loses that on Saturday night's main event, he could have carried that like how many months is that? We're only asking for like 2 to 3 months. Give him a 2 to 3 month push. Let him have the belt for a little bit. And then, transition it to Braun, or transition it to the other Braun, or Brock Lesnar. Who cares? But we just wanted something out of it. At least let him give a shot to prove himself that he can hold that. We're not asking for a Cody Rhodes year-long run with the belt. We're just asking for a couple months. That was all we were wanting. That's it.
And I think he. Again, it sounds like we're guy crushing here, but. He's perfect because he is that he's not a heel and he's not a baby face.
He's not aligned with
He can feud with anybody.
Yeah, he's not aligned with any, that was Stone Cold.
Yeah.
And again, what's so wrong with patenting yourself?
Of the two that saved your company.
Yeah, it's like, if you tell someone in baseball, well, he's way too much like King Griffey Jr. Okay, how quickly can I give him $50 million?
Right. Yeah. Where do I sign? Where can I get him to sign?
Yeah, because he's going to give me 600 home runs. How many stolen bases? Yeah, he might break his wrist on the wall a bunch of times, but I'm willing to take that investment.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. What is our next one?
Survivor Series.
Survivor Series.
When is that? It's normally.
They don't have a little rinky-dink one in between there?
No, because they already did that with
Saturday night main event.
Yeah. Let's see. It is November 29th. So
the end of the
days
day.
Two weeks from Saturday is Survivor Series.
Okay. Well, guess we can just wait and see. But I just know by this time next week we'll be on this show talking about how LA Knight got beat by somebody we don't even know who the hell they are.
I know. It's so frustrating.
Be R-Truth. That's who it'll be. It'll be R-Truth.
By the way, R-Truth had one of the funniest moments with him. I'm teaming up with Los Angeles Knight. He's like, no. Oh, man. But it just is what it is, man. You got any rants this week, Clint?
Well, I'm going to get political again. Folks, it's heating up. I said it here a while back. I'm at the point where let's get this list out, and if it's a Democrat on it, lock them away. If it's a Republican on it, lock them away. But you can't be the type of person that wants to defend. If there's a chance they're a child molester, if there's a chance, then it's got to come out.
Yeah.
And a lot of folks, especially around here's take is, well, you can't trust, well, what do we trust? At some point, what do we trust?
Aren't they the ones that were the loudest about releasing the Epstein
files? At the end of the day, all I hear is, well, you can't trust this source. You can't. Well, what do we trust? At the end of the day, what are we supposed to go by?
Right.
So if you are one of those that are defending child molestation, you're part of the problem.
100%.
That's it. I do hate the fact that my health insurance is probably going to go up. I hate the fact that Democrats actually caved. I mean, they really did.
They did.
But it's a scary time, and it's time we take it back.
I agree. You're right on point. Mine is not so much political, but I think it's a good question to have. I don't know if you've seen this on social media, Clint, but a Kentucky woman Nicolée Monroe, I believe is her name. She did a social experiment where she called churches and said she's got a 2-month baby. She's out of formula. Do they she didn't say whether she was on SNAP benefits. She didn't say anything. She just said, you got a 2-month baby. I'm out of formula. I don't, can you help me with this? She called 42 churches, including some mega churches. Only one Christian church said yes. A black church. You had mosque. You had a Catholic church in Alcoa. Shout out to them. They said yes. Give them credit for that. You had a Buddhist temple. So only one Christian church that they called, including several mega churches. Joel Osteen's was on that list. They told her they might be days, if not weeks, if she gets approved. By the way, it was a fake baby, by the way, for those listening.
Basically, she was just saying who wanted to help the poor.
And some of them were like, yeah, what kind do you need? They didn't even know if they had it or not. Some said, well, you have to be a member. But here's where I'm going with this, Clint. I wouldn't be shocked if they called every church in this town or every church in this county. I wouldn't be shocked if they said yes, and I certainly wouldn't have been shocked if they said no.
Yeah.
That bubbles me up in all the wrong reasons inside.
I know you said you don't make it political, but it does go to, you can fact check it in the Bible. Jesus speaks about helping the poor more than he talks about going to heaven.
Yeah.
More than he talks about anything.
Or, padding your pockets.
Yeah.
How many times do you talk about greed and pride?
And it's sad when you see all these folks that are putting out all these memes that it's good for all these people to get off welfare, SNAP, or whatever, and they don't take any consideration into these homeless veterans or children or disabled folks that, 42 million people on it's probably way too much. And there's probably a lot that don't need to be, but there's a whole lot that have to be. There's a lot of people that are just going through a hard time that may not plan on being on it long.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do give my wife a shout out. She's filling up, if you can fill up these blessing boxes, if you can feed folks and stuff, because right now people are hurting. No matter if the president says groceries are going down 900%, they're not. Because I did shopping yesterday. It's not.
We did shopping last weekend. It feels like it's gone the opposite. 900% high.
But yeah, it's sad. It's sad that I don't really want to say this on the show because at the end of the day, though, Christianity is not the problem; it's the damn Christians.
Right.
The Christians.
You're right. You're right. Which is that was my whole point with everything, which is like for them, you find out who a church really is when they don't know when you're coming. And that they didn't know this woman was coming. And shout out to the ones, and by the way, all the people sending donations to all those places that said yes immediately. And for some context, some of them said they don't have anything like that, but they did direct her
to where she could get help.
Where she could get help. So shout out to them for doing that, even though, they. Again, they do get credit for saying, we don't have that, but here's a place where you can go. We will hook you up with them. So shout out to them for doing that. It just, one of the churches they called was Charlie Kirk's out in Phoenix. And it just, I don't know why it hit me in this way. It's like, okay, well, they did this whole thing at the square and, God bless all the people that showed up for that. But, his own church said no. To a woman with a 2-month-old baby that needed it.
Yeah.
And if that this isn't and some people are going to spin it, well, she was lying and this is she's just some person that's just trying to take down the church. It's like, no, she's exposing your issues. Yes. And you need to take that serious. And again, shout out to the ones that took accountability. And for those who didn't and blamed her and called her a witch, leave that church and never listen to that person ever again.
Yeah. Listen, if you go to a church and the majority of what you're hearing is hate, you need to find another church.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I'm with you. But like I said, Clint, I wouldn't be shocked if they said yes, and I wouldn't be shocked if they said no, and that burns me inside because that's not Jesus.
That's and listen to what you were saying. I feel like around here, it would be a definitely more than didn't here. I really do feel that way.
Right, I'm with you.
But again, it's, if we're not helping people who need it, what are we doing?
Exactly. What's the whole point of Christianity? What was the whole point of Christ coming down? Christ is supposed to show you the way. I mean, that's one of those like LA Knights following Stone Cold instead of Doink the Clown. Right. I feel like at times Christians follow Doink the Clown and not Stone Cold.
Right.
It's a horrible analogy.
Absolutely is.
It's a horrible analogy, but you get what I'm saying.
I do. I'm with you.
You get what I'm saying. You want to be a King Griffey Jr. swing Christian and not a Aaron Boone. That's a horrible, hit one of the greatest home runs in postseason history. I'm getting off track, but I think everyone kind of gets the gist of what we're saying here. So Clinton, enjoyed it here on a wonderful Thursday night. Again,
Go Cats.
For those who can't come to Knoxville or don't want to go to Knoxville, which we completely understand, we will be there. We will have live coverage starting at 5:50 our time, 6:50 Eastern. Remember,
hour ahead.
We are an hour ahead, so we'll start 5:50, 6 o'clock here. We'll have live coverage. We will have video coverage, and here's hoping that we're talking football and talking about another game next week.
Yeah, and I'm in on that one.
Absolutely. So for Clint Brazier, I'm AJ Good. See you guys next week.
Going the distance with local sports. This